Well, g'day DLive, and welcome back to another GivesAMinute DLive video. The GivesAMinute DLive video. Yes, it is the first of the month. It is the first day of April 2021. We take a look back at DLive every month just to see how the platform's looking, how things have changed, how things have been added or removed, whatever the case may be. The month that precedes April is March, and I tell you, March has been big on DLive. A lot of things have gone down, and we're going to talk about those in a little while, but we are going to have a look at the site. I do like to go across and look at it as if I'm not signed in, so I've got DLive.tv here, but I'm not signed in. Now, I'm normally signed in as GivesAMinute, but here I'm just looking at the site. Fresh eyes is what you would see if you went to the platform known as DLive. And, well, as you can see, so there is the carousel, and it's a streamer by the name of Domo, streaming a Minecraft game up there in the slot number 1. Let's check slot number 2 skis, CD. I guess we should mute that. CDK streaming a retro game with 10 viewers. Oh, we didn't look at the numbers here. 37 viewers for Domo, 10 skis for CDK skis. If we go across to the next carousel, Intellectual Embargo streaming a game called Dragon Age 2 with 10 viewers. Crow 777 Radio in the podcast category with 16 viewers. NetDonna streaming Chatting with 8 viewers, World Games, PG-13. And then we back to the front of the carousel love there. So what you're seeing at that particular juncture is the homepage carousel. The reason we've hit that right now is because that's going to come up in a little while. We'll talk a little bit about that. The main thing that's happened this month is the M tag, right? We want to talk about the M tag. So we'll get to that though. We'll get to that. I just want to go back and have a look at some of the streamers that are on that carousel and just see what they're doing in terms of their stream itself. We like to go in and have a little look-ski. So we'll enter the stream. We will also give them some tunes.
Chamorro.
This is Domo.
I speak Tagalog and a dialect called Ilocano, and there's Visayan that I've also learned as well.
Is that something done with his vocals, like with a bit of a nasal?
little bit of Portuguese, a little bit of
I feel like it's a little bit faster.
But
I don't know this streamer,
it
but
doesn't.
Either way, Domo's been live for 2 hours 39. It's got 5,000 followers.
I just do my best to speak English because even I have a hard time with my words.
It sounds like the microphone's a little nasally. Go back to the homepage, that's Domo, and we'll check out Crow 777 radio station. Let's take a look at this. So this stream has been going for 11 minutes. It's got 4,800 followers there, and it looks like just chill out tunes is pretty soul, pretty relaxing. Okay, let's go back to the homepage. Let's check out, that was Domo and Crow 77 Radio. Let's check out NetDonna.
Mikey!
She's doing trivia. She's
Yeah.
always...
That was painful. Oh my gosh.
It's a little loud. Something was painful.
Wow. Okay. Oh, we are almost at the end of this one. Let's do one more.
So NetDonna's been live for 1 hour 28.
This could not be any harder.
She's got
I know these ones. I know this one really well. We'll do
1,900
fine.
followers. Good stuff, NetDonna. She's lovely. She's been here.
Well, I am on a really high level. I'm on 690.
She's been here for a long time on DLive, and it should be noted that
I loved it.
she is a streamer that doesn't like to show her face, and she still gets carousel love.
Right.
So there. NetDonna, good stuff. Classic hits. Oh, this just came on, and there goes all. That's going to really ruin my YouTube feed, isn't it? There you go, folks. Classic Hits Radio. Classic spelled incorrect. CLAISSIC. Classic Hits Radio. Classic Hits has been live for I'm going to get dinged with that. So this video goes on YouTube, and of course YouTube are going to ding the crap out of that. But isn't that strange? Classic hits spelt incorrect here on the actual banner and also in the handle. Classis hits. 16 followers, been live for 48 minutes with 9 viewers, possibly a newcomer to DLive. Let's go and have a look back on the last slot of the homepage. Ski, that was Domo, Crow77 Radio, and Net Donner and Classis hits. And then we've got Conservative Nation. Let's have a look at this. Where's the
Who's
volume?
out there? CNN, is this the white supremacy you're talking about?
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, is this the white supremacy that they're talking about, right?
So we got a...
Yeah, it sure looks white to me.
So some
I can
sensitive
tell
nature
you that
topic
sure
here.
looks white to me.
Okay, sure looks white to him.
Outrageous. And the thing is, ladies and gentlemen,
Let's get rid of my
this
head for a second.
Negro
Oh, there he is.
out on parole. Got out of jail, out of prison, out on parole. Because he killed his mama. That's a bad dude.
Okay.
Man.
Without knowing what he's actually
So
talking
I'm
about,
wondering. I'm just wondering.
he's wondering. I'm going to just
know?
lower his guts there in the volume. But without knowing the situation, this is a channel called Conservative Nation. It's been live for 22 minutes, 744 followers on the carousel, broadcasting what could potentially be perceived as controversial content. However, in the news category, here you see news, not M-tagged or X-tagged, but that's the news category. Now that could lead into a great conversation about this M-tagging situation. So arguably, I don't know the gentleman, I don't know his stream, but it does sound controversial in nature, and given the change in the guidelines, which we're going to read, that would certainly fall under X-tag and therefore not be allowed to be shown on the carousel on the homepage. Now, don't forget, we're not signed into DLive, so this is just naked eyes coming to the site, and that stream is up there on the carousel. So that's a concern. As it stands, we might be wrong about this gentleman. What's his name? We might be wrong about Conservative Nation. It could be completely mellow. It could be completely level. It could be completely non-partisan. We don't know, but I'm just saying where we stumbled upon there was white supremacy up front on the homepage. That's the thing. So let's go ahead and have a look at, well, let's go back over here. Let's have a look at, just have a quick statistical look at DLive, I suppose, just out of curiosity, just to, before we get into the M-tag too deeply, because it's going to take up a lot of time. Just out of statistics, the streamers that are on the top of the page here, the Salty Cracker is live, 7.8k viewers. Quite Frankly TV is second up. So now these are M-tag. So this is interesting. This is interesting. I'm not signed in here yet. I'm seeing M-tag, and here's X-tag. Patriots Soapbox News with 1.2 thousand viewers. X-tagged. This one here, No Go Zone Biden Tax Hike by Radice TV, mature tag. Patriot News is the stream I think we were just looking at. No, that was a different one. What? What did we just see on the carousel? Patriot News? Intellectual embargo. So the carousel has just changed. Patriot News, M-tag, with 483 viewers. Then we go down to the second line, Pete Santilli. He's in mature tag in the news category, 251 viewers. Then we've got Free Domain, in M-tag, political animals. Political animals. That's a category? Okay, political animals with 111 viewers. Hard Bastard, mature tag podcast with his BitChute link right there. Okay, interesting. With 87 viewers. And then we've got, in the podcast, we got War Campaign X tagged, 81 viewers, and the last one here is true reporting. True reporting in the heel category. Mature tag with 74 viewers. So what I'm seeing there is that, I mean, I don't know if I've got this wrong or not, but I thought unless you had a profile and enabled X tag, then you wouldn't see that stuff. That's up there on the first two lines and in the carousel on DLive, and I'm not logged in. This is it. Look, get rid of my hideous head for a second. I'm not logged in. See there? Log in, sign up. I'm not. This is a raw instance of DLive. I'm just here having a look. It's a little concerning. Let's take a little look into the M tag situation. So we've got previously you could stream no rating, or you would be X tag. Now X tag is a little concerning because anywhere else on the planet X means porno, but on DLive X just means anything controversial, political, or religious. Now that's also contentious, but I'm not going to argue the points. You know, we're not here to argue, but we're here to investigate and document as of the 1st of April 2021. But if you're back in the day, if you were streaming any of those topics, you'd automatically be X tagged. Now there is 3 tiers of tagging. There is family friendly, which is just open, no tag, just family friendly. There is M tag, which includes anything that is of adult nature. So drinking beer, smoking cigarettes, smoking anything else, as long as it's legal, blah, blah, blah. If you're cussing here and there, you're swearing a lot, that needs to be M tagged. And then there's X tag. They didn't change it. I don't know why they didn't change the X. It was the perfect chance to change X from X to... It should be like PG, M, and R. That's the rating system the whole world uses, right? Restricted, mature, and PG. Yet we've somehow kept with this X thing, and people automatically assume that X means you can do sex on DLive. No, you can't. I don't know why it didn't change. It didn't change. The problem here is that for as long as it was at least 4 weeks, maybe even 5 to 6 weeks, where the website had the functionality for you to choose M or X or leave it as family friendly. The functionality was on the website, so people were seeing, starting your stream, oh, what are you going to tag? But there was no documented discussion. There was no terms of service. There was no outline. There was no documentation anywhere to even speak about this. And me, for one, as a partner, and plenty of other partners, plenty of other people were saying, man, can we at least get some documentation on what this is? Like, is this going to stop us from getting exposure on the homepage? Is this going to stop us from getting on the carousel? Is this going to stop our stream from getting promoted? If we start M tagging, is this going to stop? Is this going to restrict us? And we were asking and asking and asking and asking, and nobody was answering. Nobody was listening. Nobody was doing anything. So about 6 weeks later, they finally released these new guidelines about what this does. And we're going to have a look at them now over on the community page. If we go to community.dlive.tv. Okay, there's also been changes to payment methods, which isn't a huge thing. It did give some people some cause for concern, but it's not a huge thing. But here it is: changes to services and ratings guidelines. This is the announcement. Came out March 9, 2021. So we've lived with it now for about 3 to 3.5 weeks, I guess. I'll read this out. As many of you know, over the past several months, we've been working to enhance the DLive user experience with a focus on updating our policies to promote the attractiveness, user experience, and responsible use of our platform. Today, we are announcing another important step in that ongoing and evolving effort with the introduction of updated terms of service and service guidelines. Among the various changes being made, the most significant is an overhaul of our tagging system or rating system. DLive has traditionally had 2 ratings. I've already mentioned these. General audience for streams that are appropriate for everyone, and an X tag rating, which applies to streams that are intended for a mature audience, i.e. adults aged 18 upward. In the wake of the events of January 6, we halted the ability of those streaming with the X tag rating to participate in the platform's monetary reward systems and thereby earn money through the platform from viewers. The goal of that was to mitigate the risk that anyone violating our guidelines in their streams could continue to collect revenue from those streams. So, however, the inevitable consequence was that a lot of great creators who wanted to provide appropriate, mature streams lost the ability to monetize their work on our platform. So far what we're reading, these are all good things, right? This is all good. This is all a good response to a lousy situation. Nobody's denying that. Well, maybe those that got banned and maybe those that are no longer with us would argue against that. But I'm seeing this as a good thing. But there is something bad coming. In order to provide more detailed gradations of ratings and to strike a better balance, we have developed an updated rating system under which all creators on our platform will be required to rate their streams into one of 3 categories. Importantly, all persons must at all times adhere to our terms of service and our service guidelines, and the ratings below only apply to material and behavior that otherwise conform to those guidelines. So you can't go above this, right, is what they're saying. In addition, we have clarified our rights under the terms of service to halt payments, which makes sense. So if you do breach the terms, they've updated the actual verbiage of how they can say, well, we're not going to pay you. So the 3 tags are family friendly. This is the appropriate rating for all streams that are free of mature behaviors, images, and messages. In other words, no excessive use of expletives, no depictions of extreme violence, no in-game nudity, no depictions of smoking or consuming alcohol, and no expression of highly critical opinion about real-world people, groups, or institutions. Think of a PG or a PG-13 rated movie. Anyone streaming under the family-friendly rating will be able to be featured on the DLive homepage, be accessible to all DLive users, participate in our DLive verified and global partner programs, and will be able to accept donations or otherwise monetize their content on the platform. It is our expectation that, as has always been the case, the vast majority of content streamed on DLive will fit comfortably in this rating. Now, I got to pause at that point because that is a very intriguing piece of verbiage. We've previously noted that, quote unquote, at its core, DLive is a collaborative gaming platform. That's the quote from DLive. If you ever were wondering what DLive is and you were trying to tell somebody, like I find myself explaining, especially when I'm out doing IRL streams, hey man, are you streaming to YouTube? No, I'm actually on a site called DLive. DLive? What's that? And I'd always say it's a competitor to YouTube. It's a place where it's a smaller, tighter-knit community with more of a chance for you to grow, bigger opportunity to monetize your content. I never thought of it as a collaborative gaming platform, ever. I never thought that was a thing, but we've been told that's what it is. So in that sense, most games, unless I'm mistaken, I'm not a gamer, so I could well be mistaken, but I thought most games included a fair amount of violence, right? Like most games are shoot 'em ups and like kill the baddies and get the girl, kill the bad, that kind of thing, right? So I don't understand how it says, as has always been the case, the vast majority of content on DLive will fit comfortably within that rating, within the family friendly, which has no excessive usage of expletives, no depictions of extreme violence, no in-game nudity, no depictions of smoking or consuming alcohol. Anyway, I could be wrong, but I feel like at that point, there's a big disconnect there. Most of the stuff that we just had a look at the top part of YouTube, the top carousel on DLive and the top 2 lines, and that's as most of that was news and political stuff. None of it, like there were 2 games up there. So I would argue that, but I'm not here to argue. I'm just here to present what's going down in DLive Town, April 1, 2021. So then we got the new tag, the mature tag. The new mature tag rating is for streams that are going to involve behaviors, images, or messages that are more in the realm of a mainstream R-rated movie. So do you see what's going there? We've jumped a tag. It doesn't make sense to go from family friendly to R. It goes PG, M, R. That's the global rating system. Why have we jumped from family friendly to R and then to X, but X isn't porno? I don't know. I don't know who comes up with this. I don't understand it. These streams can appear on our homepage, but will be accompanied by a warning to viewers that the content is intended for mature audiences. Nothing wrong with that. That's a good thing, right? It's nothing. There's no different to watching a show and you press play and it says, this little graphic comes up saying warning M rating, and then you get into the show. There's no problem with that at all, I don't think. And you might disagree, but I don't think there's anything wrong with a warning. Only viewers aged 18 plus are authorized to access these streams. Creators should apply the M tag if they intend to include depictions of fictional violence, for example, graphically violent war-based game. If they use adult language, such as cussings, right, swearing. Express critical opinions related to real-life individuals, groups, or institutions. If they depict smoking or drinking, depicting it. So, like, I was wondering about my whiskey behind me. I'm not drinking it now, but is that a problem? Should that make that M tagged? I mean, I will drink that at some point, but not right now. If you show in-game nudity, pornographic depictions of nudity are entirely prohibited from the platform under our terms of service. So they've even had to put that in there, right? Because you start to see an X tag and you think that's porno, but clearly it's not. Content creators streaming under the mature tag can accept donations or subscriptions in our platform, participate in DLive verified and global partner programs, and otherwise freely utilize the platform without the exception of restricting their audience, to those 18 plus. Now, this is intriguing because this has had a change. Has this been updated? When did this get updated? Oh, mate, no, there's an addendum at the bottom. Sorry, I'll get to the addendum. Addendum. So now we move into the X tag. This is the old X tag, but with more clarification. Finally, creators who recognize that their streaming pushes the envelope in terms of its behaviors, that's a quote, images and messages are required to apply the X tag rating. Creators streaming with an X tag rating will operate under all the same restrictions applied to the mature audience and rating, and their streams will only be accessible on the X tag section of the site, not on the homepage. So this is exactly contradicting, this is quite clearly contradicting what we've just seen. It literally says, creators streaming with an X tag rating will operate under all the same restrictions, that bit's true, applied to mature audiences, and their streams will only be accessible on the X tag section of the site, not on the homepage. I mean, I don't know how to tell you. Look, get rid of my hideous head for a second. I'm not signed in here. I can refresh this page. Refresh that page. I'm not signed in. Log in, sign up. Yet you can pretty much go down here and see mature tag, X tag right there, Patriot Soapbox News, mature tag, 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 X tag right there. Mature, 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 mature. X tag right there, massive pallet yard fire X tag. So I mean, look, again, I'm not here to pull apart the site. I'm not here to throw stones at glass windows. I'm just here to put this down, documenting it for historical sake. This is where we're at on the 1st of April 2021. Just seeing massive contradiction in terms right here. We'll also not be able to accept viewer donations or subscriptions within the platform. X-Tag streams will be ineligible for participation in our DLive verified and global partnership programs. So here we go to clarify the X. Importantly, X-Tag does not mean anything goes. X-Tag streams are still subject to all of our service guidelines, prohibitions, including prohibitions on hate speech, incitements to violence, depictions of illegal activity, pornographic material, etc. X-Tag simply means that you are streaming content that is at the outer edge of what's allowable on our platform, but without crossing the line into prohibited material or behaviors. As always, violations of our service guidelines and terms of services can lead to sanctions, including account suspensions and terminations. So, there it is, but we recognize that the distinctions between family-friendly, mature, and X-Tag ratings are somewhat subjective. Therefore, our message to all creators is simple: err on the side of caution. When in doubt, apply the more restrictive rating. If you believe your streams are likely to be appropriate for those who are above the age of 18, even if you are not 100% certain, it checks all the boxes for being mature, you should rate that you should self-rate as mature. Similarly, if you are unsure about whether your stream will fit mature or X, we encourage you to select X. We recognize that in marking your stream X, you forfeit the ability to monetize through our platform, but if this is a concern to you, then the appropriate response is to pull back from the edgier content, thus making your stream appropriate for mature ratings. So this is censorship at this point. This is clearly what this is. If you are intent on engaging in behaviors, showing images, or delivering messages that are more aggressive, then you need to accept the X tag rating and the associated restrictions. So I guess there's a couple of points there to pull out. If you do want to do X content, not porn, if you want to go X tag, you need to have a position or a situation already set up where you can monetize. You need to have a good reach, because you're not going to get reach on DLive and you're not going to be able to monetize it. Although arguing the reach situation, at this stage you still do get reach, you still get on the homepage, but you're not going to be able to monetize your content. So if you've got an audience of 100,000 people and you do push the envelope and you still want to do it on DLive, you still can, but you need to have other situations in place. PayPal donations, Patreon, whatever the way that you can sell merch, whatever it is, the way you can bring an income in, because you can't use lemons, you can't use donations on stream, and you cannot achieve anything. You can't go through the ranks of DLive achieving different levels. This is a direct response to the crap that went down earlier this year in the Capitol building. Streamers are responsible for applying accurate ratings to their streams. Any creator who fails to accurately rate their content or who streams under an inappropriate rating is subject to having the X tag rating permanently and uniformly applied. So if you don't do the right thing, you will get X tagged. That's heavy. At the sole discretion of DLive, thus losing the ability to monetize on our platform. As always, violations of our service guidelines or terms can result in account suspensions and halting in payments to streamers. Through this new rating system, we aim to keep the DLive community vibrant and growing, and to continue to enable creators to reach their audience and capture the value they create. We urge creators with questions about the system to visit our help page, and we encourage anyone viewing streams on DLive that they believe are misrated or in violation to use the easy in-app tools we provide to report. Okay, so there you go. If you do see something, you can report it. Now, arguably, I should be reporting this, but I can't. I'm busy with the recording, but this is the document anyway, so I guess I get let off on that point. Q&A. Why is DLive taking this action now? I feel like they've already answered this up above, but we'll go over it. DLive is committed to maintaining an attractive, welcoming, and safe platform for our users, while also allowing a broad array of creators to express themselves. Achieving that balance requires building spaces that are appropriate for everyone, other spaces that are appropriate for mature audiences, and other spaces that are only appropriate for those looking for a certain type of edgier experience. These rating systems give streamers the ability to tag their material more precisely and give our users tools to manage their experience on the platform, so that creators and users can meet at the level of experience that they intend and expect in common. Does this action change DLive's policy towards previously prohibited behaviors, images, or messages? No. Our service guidelines continue to expressly prohibit things such as hate speech, incitement to violence, pornography, and fraud. These restrictions apply no matter what the rating on a stream is. Violators of our service guidelines and terms remain subject to suspension or banning from the platform. There you go. Now, why shouldn't you be able to earn an income if you're an X-tagger? This is a question I've always had. Like, just because you publish material that some might find offensive, why shouldn't you be able to monetize that? Okay. By definition, X-tag rated streams are pushing the envelopes in terms of their behaviors, images, and messages being delivered. While DLive does not want to deny creators the ability to be bold, provided they comply with our service guidelines and terms, we also want to be clear that material and behavior that approaches the limits are not necessarily the type of streams our platform was built to host. So basically, that message says, we don't really want you here. We don't want you to do this here. This is not what we designed DLive for. Again, at its core, quote unquote, DLive is a collaborative gaming platform, not a political news channel agenda, right? I'm trying to put this as clearly as possible. At its core, DLive is a collaborative gaming platform. So I don't know where the news stuff even came from at that point, when it's pretty clear gaming, right? If a creator insists on that type of stream, then it comes with restrictions, including the ability to monetize. So you might want to go somewhere else. You might want to go someplace else. Doesn't look like there's anything here for you, really. Aside from the ability to stream, which, let's be fair, there's plenty of other places you can stream. How will the rating systems be enforced? As always, DLive's moderation team will be reviewing streams for appropriate ratings, but it is impossible to review everything all the time. So we are asking our users to help us ensure that the systems works. There's a typo there. Help ensure that the system works. Oh no, that's correct. So we are asking our users to help us ensure that the system works by reporting the inaccurate ratings. That does work. Sorry, that was my bad. That's cool. Users found to be inaccurately tagging their streams are subject to having their entire channel put in the X tag, perhaps permanently, thus losing the ability to monetize their work. So basically, the onus is on you. Don't mess this up. If you still want to be here, you've got obligations and requirements. Don't mess it up. Otherwise, we will permanently X tag you, and that wouldn't be good. What should I do if I'm a creator and I'm not sure how to tag my stream? And then we've already touched on this above, but anyway, when in doubt, apply the more restrictive stream. If you still can't decide what's appropriate, you could submit the question. What should I do if I'm a viewer and I believe a creator's stream is inaccurately tagged? Please immediately report it. So I would suggest there is something missing there. I think the verbiage has changed. I wanted to go back and talk about mtag. I'm pretty certain. Oh, no, sorry, there it is. These streams can appear on our homepage. So this verbiage, homepage, this has got me and a bunch of other people very concerned, because while I don't disagree about this, I agree this is a good thing that DLive has done. I agree with this position they've taken. I don't agree with the family-friendly, the M and the X. I think it should be, and I've already said it, but I'll say it again, it should be PG, M and R, right? That's how it should be. But anyway, the problem that I found, and that many people have found, is that doesn't actually say carousel or wheel, if you like. Some people call it the wheel. I like the wheel as well. And what we're referring to is this. You could argue this is the homepage, right? This is the homepage of DLive. That's the homepage. That's the homepage of DLive, but that's the carousel or the wheel, which is top slot priority, right? And these down here just happens to be organized in however you want to organize it. Get rid of my hideous head again, and you can change the organization from trending to new. You can change it from all to just a certain language down on the sidebar here. You can go back to trending. But if you really want to see what's up there on the carousel getting the love, that's the carousel. So this verbiage here, these streams can appear on our homepage. It doesn't, if you carefully read that whole press release, it doesn't mention carousel ever. So I went ahead and asked the question of those that be, and I said, does mtag stop you from getting on the carousel? And the answer was no, it does not. It does not, even though it doesn't mention that, it does not hinder your ability to get on the carousel. Now, as I said, this functionality came to the website ages ago without this document, which came out on March the 4th, I think it was. March 9. So this document came out March 9, but the ability on the website was already there a long time ago to apply these ratings. And what I noticed was that people were applying this mtag, and I saw it that nobody was getting on the carousel. No, the only streams on the carousel were those that were not applying the mtag. So I watched that for a little while, and I made a decision to not use mtag, even though my streams, drinking and a bit of swearing here and there, definitely fall into the mtag category. But I made a decision to not use it until we got the document to verify what it does and what it doesn't do. Now, unfortunately, the document doesn't even mention the carousel, which really sucks because I wanted clarity. I wanted to see how this is going to affect my streams, because let me be honest, all of my streams, aside from the cryptocurrency streams, would certainly fall in mtag. So I'm not against using it, but I was against the functionality rolling out before the documentation. When the documentation finally came out, I kept seeing that this was happening, and of course I was M-tagging and I never got on the carousel. Now, you could say blah blah blah, boo hoo hoo Gives, you think you deserve the carousel, you think you always should get on the wheel. No, matter of factly, I would always get on the wheel between maybe 3 to 4 times a week, and it wouldn't even be me noticing it. I'd just be streaming, and I've got an iPad that plays DLive on the side there, and I just happen to glance over and go, oh crap, I'm on the wheel. I'm on the wheel. Thank you for the wheel, love, DLive. Now let me be clear. There's 2 ways of getting on that wheel. There's the random way where you just don't even know what's happening, and then there's the other way where DLive actually come in and manually trigger your channel onto that wheel. And if that's the case, in your own chat, you'll get a notification from the DLive bot. It'll say something like, DLive bot, congratulations Gives, your channel has been selected and is now being featured on our homepage. That's always going to happen. Well, not always, but when that happens, doesn't matter what your tagging is, as long as it's not X, if you're M-tagged, you'll get yourself up there. I'm not denying that, but what I am saying is the random nature of getting on that wheel, which would happen to me 3 to 4 times a week, either I'd see it or someone in my chat would be like, hey, did you know you're on the wheel? Oh, okay, cool, I'm on the wheel, cool. That stopped happening. The moment March 9 came and we started using M-tag, I stopped getting any wheel love. And I did an experiment where I went a whole week of streams M-tagged, not one wheel action. Sorry, I beg your pardon. One time it happened, and that was the bot coming in saying you're on the wheel. You're on the... Can we change it to wheel? You're on the carousel, featured on the homepage carousel. Other than that, not once did I randomly get up there. So then, the next day, I did a Wednesday cryptocurrency stream, which I'd argue would be family friendly. So I didn't M-tag. I family friendlied that. And I got on the wheel almost immediately, and then another 2 times. In a 3-hour stream, I was on that wheel 3 separate times. Now, when I say separate, I mean one time it came up, then it got just bumped off. Somebody else took the slot. So we kept on streaming, and then I noticed again about 40 minutes later, bam, back up on the wheel. 3 separate times. So then what I did was, the next day, we went back to M-tag streams. So full-blown M-tag. Whatever that entails. I don't drink throughout the week, but anyway, I feel like having that behind me could be adult. Anyway, so we're M-tag, we're streaming. I say to my audience, hey, why don't we do a little test here? Let's just flick the M-tag off and let's go family friendly. So what we did was we got out some lovely drawings that my 5-year-old niece made for me. We put on some Mozart music and we turned off the M-tag. We went to family friendly and we went through all these drawings. And we just had a great time. What tag am I now? I'm M. I shit you not. Within the first 5 minutes of turning off the M tag, I got on the wheel. Bumped straight on the wheel, random style. Then my audience, the lovely givers, said, man, why don't you just try turning it off? Put it back to M tag. So we put the paintings away, we turned off the Mozart, and we started cussing. Well, we turned the M-tag back on and we started cussing, and I got bumped off the carousel, of course. Bam, off the wheel. No sweat, no sweat. So we went on and did a bit more of the stream for another 10, 15 minutes, blah, blah, blah. Yo, Gives, why don't you try that one more time just to verify? I was like, okay, fair enough. So we got more of the pictures out, put the Mozart back on. Look at that beautiful one there. That's a koala. Look at the spaces in the eye holes. Oh, this is a rainbow, by the way. What a lovely rainbow. So we put the Mozart on and we went back to family friendly, and almost immediately wheel action. So what does that tell you? It tells you it's broken. That's what it tells me. It's broken. The M tag is broken. Now, like I said, I did raise it with those the powers that be, and they did confirm that yes, that is a bug. So what I'm doing here right now, and the reason I'm hitting this so heavily, is because as of the 1st of April 2021, if you M-tag, you will not get on the carousel unless DLive put you there. It's not a thing, it's a bug. But how long will it take to fix that bug? Now, there's been some contentious issues on DLive for quite a while where it seems like nobody really cares too much anymore about the site. It's so different than what it used to be. I'm suggesting that it might take a long time for this bug to get fixed. what does that mean for my streams? Well, I'm going to be M-tagged. I'm going to play by the rules. I'm not going to break the rules. I'm going to do the right thing. I'm just curious to see how this does change and how this affects streamers when they start to realize that, man, I'm not getting anywhere near the viewers that I used to get. I've had no wheel love for so long. Sucks. There's a bug. When you got a bug, you get the bug spray out. You fix that, right? So I'm just saying, let's mark these words. And how long will this take to fix? 1st of April 2021. Let's see how it goes from there. Now, this video has been a lengthy one because of these big changes, but I do want to have a quick look at my channel. You want to bump out here, I understand, but I just have a quick look at my channel. It's like a document, you know. I want to see how I'm going for the month, blah, blah, blah. So let's go over here, get rid of my hideous head. Let's type in GivesAMinute. GivesAMinute, and you've got to hit the search button or the enter button for that to come up. There we go. I'm playing a rerun, no worries. So we go back to my hideous head back on. So this is my channel here. It's playing a rerun. So I was last live 17 hours ago. I really love this feature, this last live thing. That's so sick. I've got 7.2 thousand followers on DLive. Thank you very much to the givers who followed. Although I gotta say, while we changed these rating systems, couldn't we do a thing where we culled all the bots? Because those 7.2 thousand followers, I'd argue, if DLive did a YouTube subscriber cull, I reckon that'd go back down to just under 3,000 is what I feel. Because I've had a lot of trolls out there. You know, they come in with like 100 different accounts. They're so audacious. They had one the other day, thought he was being smart by using my car registration plate as his troll handle. AUN16X. Like, what can you do with my registration plate? Who gives a shit? I'm an IRL streamer. That's in most videos. Anyway, they're idiots, but I would argue that if they culled, if DLive came in and did a sweep, I'd go back down to under 3,000 for certain. There's so much garbage on my channel from those god-awful trolls. But anyway, that's where we're at right there. We've got a bunch of replays here. Oh shit! I pressed the wrong button. I guess we're over.